After altering Monday's practice to account for a number of soft tissue injuries plaguing the team, the Denver Broncos were back in full pads for a full-speed practice on Tuesday. Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for the Day 10 edition of Training Camp tonight. Yesterday, Coach Fangio mentioned that there are more soft tissue injuries plaguing this team right now than they had to deal with throughout the entire 2019 season. Unfortunately, today, none of the guys who missed practice yesterday were back in action here today. However, Coach Fangio did say there's a 50-50 chance we will see wide receiver Tim Patrick and cornerback Devontae Bosby on Thursday. Unlike yesterday, which featured mostly scout team work, the Broncos upped the level of competition and intensity at practice today. Linebacker Alexander Johnson had a big day defending both the run and the pass. He actually racked up a few pass breakups today, including this one on Levante Bellamy. On the offensive side of the ball, Courtland Sutton continued to prove he can catch anything thrown his way. This pass from Locke was behind him a bit, but Sutton reached back to reel it in the middle of the field. And Jerry Jeudy had his first off day this training camp with a pair of drops. However, he bounced back nicely as practice went on. Drew Lock launched quite possibly the most beautiful ball we've seen throughout camp so far as he hit Jeudy on a deep out route. And then a couple of plays later, Lock scrambled to his left looking to make something happen, and he found the rookie on the run for a toe tap catch in the end zone. Now, the chemistry we've seen on both sides of the ball is pretty impressive, given this is just the 10th day of the on-field installation process after a completely virtual offseason. Former Broncos wide receiver Brandon Stokley joined the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater for Training Camp Live this morning to share how difficult it is heading into a season without a true offseason and share his thoughts on a few key members of this Broncos offense.
For me, a couple teams I went to right at the beginning of the season or during training camp.
Okay.
So I didn't have that whole offseason to learn the playbook and learn new terminology, and so that makes it even more difficult when not having the offseason. And they didn't have an offseason this year, so I know the situation a lot of these young guys are in trying to learn. Drew Lock's mobility and his arm strength really helps the offensive line out. And Garrett Bowles played probably his best 5-game stretch of his career last year when Drew Lock took over.
Yeah.
So I think looking at that and Drew Lock's mobility and his comfortability, and just being more comfortable in the NFL and knowing that he belongs will help your offensive line out. I certainly know, playing with Peyton Manning that, he was the offensive line's best friend. Knowing when to get rid of the football, knowing where the trouble's coming from, but also Drew has that mobility, like you said, to be able to escape pressure.